You went to school with Doug Wardlow?
Yes, I did. I came out in 8th grade, so going to high school with Doug Wardlow was not exactly a fun thing.
Did he? Was he mean to you after you came out?
Oh, dear God. I actually, he was one of among many people, but I ended up attempting suicide in 10th grade, and when I finally got back to school 5 months later, most people either didn't talk to me or were nice to me. He greeted me with, "What, you couldn't even get that right?"
That was what he said to you. Doug Wardlow said that. You're saying this is your story. You're saying Doug Wardlow, after you were a kid, after he had teased you and you had tried to commit suicide, you're saying that Doug Wardlow, basically, when you saw him when you came back to school, he said you couldn't even get that right.
Yep, Doug Wardlow has been as anti-gay as it gets for as long as he's been around. I did debate team with him, and yeah, everything came back to Republican partisan ideals one way or another.
Wow. But I want to make sure...
The idea of him being able to hold that office in a nonpartisan way is laughable.
I want to make sure, and Ryan, by all means, and I'm very sorry about what happened to you. That is disgusting and is absolutely not right. I'm glad that we are becoming a better society. But I am terrified for you that Doug Wardlow would be possibly our Attorney General, because it seems like that might be, a way for this bullying to continue later on in life. But once again, I want to make sure... Go ahead.
That's the only reason I've been willing to tell that story again, because if the idea of him being in a position to basically cause these problems for a whole other generation of people is just no. He's already going to school board meetings like he did in Anoka to basically bully a trans student that was on the swim team about using their right locker room. And he's 20 years later, and he's still fighting high school fights.
I want to make sure we just repeat what you said, because this is big, actually. You're saying that Doug Wardlow, when you were in school and you came out as gay, he basically was part of that group that bullied you. It led you to try to commit suicide, which grateful. I'm very grateful that that did not happen, and you were able to get back. And when you finally did get back, when Doug Wardlow saw you enter school, the comment he said was what once again?
What? You couldn't even get that right?
Wow. He taunted you after you tried it. Wow. That's Doug Wardlow?
Yep. And his dad taught at our school, and yeah, it's...
What school was this?
I saw that he was...
What school was this?
Egan High School.
Egan High School.
Class of 97.
Class of 97 at Egan. Ryan, thank you for sharing your story with us, and I'm going to put you back. Let's put him back on hold. Let's make sure we get his phone number. I might actually present this to some news outlets to maybe have you tell your story a little bit more detail, because I'm not a journalist. I'm a show. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate the phone call. Wow. Wow. Guy comes out at Egan High School, class of 97. Immediately gets teased to a point of committing, almost committing suicide by a group of people, one of whom was Doug Wardlow. When he does get back to school after his suicide attempts, Wardlow greets him with, "Well, you couldn't even do that right." And that guy wants to be the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota. And there are people like Patrick in Apple Valley who probably heard that story and going, "Yay! Yay!" Oh, I have no doubt, and Patrick in Apple Valley is going to still vote for the guy, because he's just trying to own the libs. But holy crud. Holy crud. This is what makes what the Star Tribune is doing even more disgusting. Once again, this whole war on Keith Ellison that the Star Tribune is waging. Now, as the Star Tribune will start to try to say, it's like, well, we're just part of a group. No, you're part of extreme far-right alpha news. Extreme far-right alpha news. KSTP, which is also an incredibly far-right group. Now, at 1:30 this afternoon, KSTP did not even have the Doug Wardlow says he's going to fire all the Democratic attorneys in the office. They didn't even have that on their webpage. KSTP is not part of this lawsuit. You guys are. The same newspaper that basically would publish far-right lies as an editorial or opinion page and give the Democrats the Monday edition to respond. The same paper that cowered when a conservative radio host in the town called you the Red Star, so you felt like you had to start printing out Republican press releases verbatim to prevent from being teased by the big bad meanie pants. You guys have fallen off the charts. And granted, you got at least there's going to be an appeal here. I don't know if you're going to have these files opened on the 15th or 17th, Wednesday the 17th, as the court has decided. And there is going to be an appeal, but I think it should be known. I think that's all you need to do. An extremist far-right news organization and Alpha News are trying to destroy Keith Ellison because they want Doug Wardlow apparently as the Attorney General. Wow. Wow. Holy crud. God. People, this election matters. For God's sakes, get registered. Vote. Vote now. Early voting going on. And do not allow Doug Wardlow to win. For God's sakes. Hunter Brett up next. Till tomorrow. So Monday. See ya.
Hey, Minnesota. Norman Goldman here. Catch me live every weeknight from 5 to 8 p.m. right here on AM 950. Whether it's a recap of the day's news